Today we're going to talk about how to layer adhesive vinyl. You can see I have all my pieces cut out already because we just want to focus today on the layering process of multiple colors. So I'm going to start off by weeding all of my different colors. And I am using a Grinch image. If you have not seen my newest tutorial about Grinch images and SVGs, I want you to head over to shawnmosh.com and check that out. We're going to talk about the difference between images and SVG files. And no matter what, if you're using an image or an SVG file or a Cricut design, you're going to have to weed it. So here is just using my weeding tool and removing all that excess vinyl that I don't want in my project. That's in essence what weeding is. I am going to start with my largest piece as my base. The black covers the most area. It's a solid piece so that I can layer and stack everything else on top of that. I am going to start with the green and put the transfer tape on top of the green layer. Then I'm going to use this tool to just burnish it, and that just means rub it. If you don't have one of these tools, you could grab a credit card or a gift card, but I say get one of these tools. Burnish it front and back because you want the vinyl to really stick to the transfer tape. And you want to peel the backing away from the vinyl. Don't try lift the adhesive transfer tape up and expect your vinyl to stick. Peel the backing away. So now everything that you see and is exposed, it's all sticky. Okay, so now I have the sticky side away from me. Now I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper. Yes, ordinary parchment paper like you have in your kitchen for baking cookies. That parchment paper is going to create a barrier so that everything doesn't stick down immediately and gives me time to center things. I just noticed that I didn't weed the heart out of the center, so let's do that before we get started. Okay, so I have my green layer with the transfer sheet over the top, and then that little bit of the fingertips that was exposed from the parchment paper, I rubbed that down, so now I can lift this whole thing up kind of like a hinge. And now when I smooth this back down, see how everything lined up? That's because I did the whole aligning process while that parchment paper was in there, which allowed me kind of to shimmy and move things around until I was happy with the alignment. So now I burnish it again, and now I can peel up that transfer tape and use it again. If you don't have transfer tape, you can use clear contact paper. And I'm actually going to keep using the same piece of transfer tape over and over again for every layer and every color. So now we'll just keep doing the same thing with the other colors. So now you see I'm doing the white. A lot of people ask me, why did you do them in the order you did? Okay, well, I looked at the different layers. Black is the largest one. It's the thing that's going to be showing through on everything. The green, by positioning that first, it's going to help me know where to place the white and the red. So just kind of look at your design to figure out which layer you should do first. Okay, again, we're placing the parchment paper on the sticky side and just leaving a little bit of the parchment paper off of the edge of the actual vinyl. So now we can shimmy things and line things up. And once I get it aligned, I will press down on that white part that is exposed and not over the parchment paper. So now when I lift it up, you can see like that's stuck. And when I lay it down and smooth it, now the whole thing is stuck. Okay, so it's just about building and adding those layers on top of each other. Now we can do the red. And I'm going to do this one up here a little bit more so you can see me doing all the steps, but I'm just repeating the same steps over and over again. Transfer tape on top of the weeded vinyl. Burnish back and front. Peel the backing away from the vinyl. Don't try to burnish things and then just pull the um, transfer tape up and expect your vinyl to stick. Yes, you have the risk of now everything is sticky and exposed, but trust me, flipping that thing over and peeling the paper backing off of your vinyl always works better. And then if there's a part of the vinyl that's not fully stuck to the transfer tape, you can just burnish it some more. So now we're using the parchment paper again to kind of be our barrier, because if all of this was sticky, as soon as we laid it down on top of the rest of the design, there would be a part of it that would catch and I wouldn't be able to adjust it and move it around. So that parchment paper just creates that barrier to give us some wiggle room. And I did use some washi tape to kind of hold my main piece down. That does help to stabilize things. So now let's place this entire design on a cup. I'm going to first move the cup out of the way so that I can work with just the design. Put the transfer tape over the top and we're going to burnish it. But this time we're burnishing it so that we can pick up all 4 layers at the same time, because there's a green, a white, a red, and a black. So when I flip this over, you're going to see why I do the black as a big solid piece and do that first. Because when I start to peel this back, what you're going to see is all black in one big piece. So I don't even have to deal with like, oh, well, those little pieces is fussing around with me. Nope, they're all stuck down on the other side of this black piece. So now all I really have to deal with is this one large piece. I take my cup and kind of try to stabilize it between a couple things. I have some small cardstock pads here. Then I place and kind of center things, and I smooth down with my thumb right through the center. Then once I know my center is good, I smooth outwards towards the edges. This helps you to avoid bubbles. Okay, so then just smooth it down, go everything, make sure you have it nice and smooth, no bubbles. There's a little bit of a crease there, so I'll just rub that down. And then once you're happy with how it's positioned and smoothed down, all you have to do is remove the transfer tape and then let it sit. This is permanent vinyl, but it's not like you stuck it on there and boom, it's automatically permanent. You have to allow it to cure and set up. Basically, that means don't touch it, leave it alone 3-4 days. Um, I would still probably hand wash this just for my peace of mind. But if you're going to start to give this to other people, I would test it out in a dishwasher setting after several days. But now you can see the whole design applied to the cup. Before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. I love to hear from you.